This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven Sun. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Thursday night, January the 21st, 2021. Have a drink tonight at 9:21 and 21 seconds, because it'll be in military time, 21st hour, 21st minute, 21st second, in the 21st year.
Of the 21st century.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Joining me, as always, from his underground bunker in liberal bastion land of the central part of Pennsylvania, the non-genetically proven Sun. How's it going?
It's going.
It's going? It's going.
I had class today.
Class? One?
I listened to a photography teacher talk for 2 hours.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, looking at me in the monitor, like, I need to dress a little better.
I have a black long sleeve.
I look like a ragamuffin with a white t-shirt and a flannel shirt on.
A ragamuffin.
A ragamuffin. A ragamuffin. So, not really much has happened in the news since we joined you on Tuesday. I can't think of any big events that happened.
It is day 2 of the...
Of what?
What do you want to... What are we calling it? What are we calling? What's the official name? How about the...
I have no idea what you're talking about. Nothing big in the whole wide world newsworthiness happened since Tuesday night.
How about, if I get you kicked off of YouTube, I'm sorry. The
Don't say it.
communist regime of Biden. We're going to call it that.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's news.
Yeah, he got kind of sworn in. He put his hand on a Bible.
That's a pretty thick Bible.
Bibles are pretty thick. I mean, here, wait. Here, I'll give you an example here.
That thing looked like it weighed about...
This thing's pretty thick.
Yeah, well, that Bible looked like it was about 5 times as thick. It looked like it weighed about 80 pounds.
Well, the words got to be big enough for Biden to read it.
That's true. That's true. By the way, message board is live and operational should you wish to chime in. So, as I said Tuesday night, we were going to, go over his speech. And we'll play some clips. We got a lot of clips to play tonight. A lot of clips. There's no doubt about the central theme of his speech was unity.
Right.
No doubt about it.
He said it a lot.
No doubt about it, that was the central theme. Now, not really sure he meant it, though.
No.
Not really sure. Don't really think he meant it.
Why would they be all for this Black Lives Matter protests? And all of a sudden, the day he's president, we need unity. When we've been saying, when Trump's been saying that for the last year.
Yes.
But no.
So we got some clips to go over from yesterday. So let's see what we got here.
The cry for survival comes from the planet itself. A cry that can't be any more desperate or any more clear. And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism that we must confront and we will defeat. To overcome these challenges, to restore the soul and secure the future of America requires so much more than words It requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy: unity. Unity.
It was so important he said it twice. Unity.
I am very surprised
Hold on.
he was able to speak as clearly as he did.
Yeah, he was hopped up on drugs. He had to be.
I didn't know where his teleprompter was.
Either that or he
couldn't see it.
Well, that's because it was zoomed in.
Yeah, he zoomed in very far.
I mean, either that or he napped for 3 days prior to this.
Well, maybe they moved his basement to the White House now.
Maybe.
Maybe he sits in the basement of the White House.
I mean, he obviously has more energy because his Peloton hasn't been delivered for national security reasons.
And we could talk about another thing that he did, but, we'll get to that after this segment.
All right, next segment, all about unity.
Uniting to fight the foes we face: anger, resentment and hatred, extremism, lawlessness, violence, disease, joblessness, and hopelessness. With unity, we can do great things, important things. We can right wrongs. We can put people to work in good jobs. We can teach our children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus. We can reward work and rebuild the middle class and make health care secure for all. We can deliver racial justice, and we can make America once again the leading force for good in the world.
Yep. Unity.
Unity.
Unity. I don't know. I mean, if he's being sincere, it's not a bad speech so far. And
I think it was a very predictable speech.
Yeah, oh yeah. You knew this was going to be about unity. I mean, and he probably is being sincere. The problem is he's not calling out his side. He called out white supremacists in the first clip. He's not calling out his side to be unified. Let's go to the next clip. Actually, it's just a continuation of this same one.
I know speaking of unity can sound to some like a foolish fantasy these days. I know the forces that divide us are deep and they are real. But I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all are created equal and the harsh, ugly reality that racism, nativism, fear, demonization have long torn us apart.
Long torn us apart. Now, to me, that comment was a knock on the previous administration.
What was the comment? I can't really catch up to what he's saying. So,
Well, it was just about, fear and racism and bigotry and, how we got to overcome that and be unified. Kind of minutia. 2 more clips from the show. Is there any comments yet?
I have not seen one. No.
Okay.
History, faith, and reason show the way of unity. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect. We can join forces, stop the shouting, and lower the temperature. For without unity, there is no peace, only bitterness and fury. No progress, only exhausting outrage. No nation, only a state of chaos. This is our historic moment of crisis and challenge. And unity is the path forward.
So, he's talking about, turning down the temperature in the room when we disagree about, we don't have to go to war over disagreements. Well, the problem is it's his side that acts like that.
Oh, that brings up a big topic that happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
As you say, turning down the temperature when we disagree. Well, yesterday I received this. It's a little hard to read.
Yeah, I saw that you received it.
Trump 2024 and my Snapchat stream. I just took a picture of the flag. Didn't really care, right? I got a message back, stop sending me your Trump flag. And I said, why are you so offended? And then she went on to a whole thing. I said, if you don't like it, the unfriend button is in the top right. You're the one that's offended. If you send me a Biden flag, I don't give two shits.
Unity. You should have brought that up. President called for unity.
And we're the one apparently starting all the BS.
President called for unity. All right, last clip.
That's true. I think I sent that literally 10 minutes after his speech.
Let's see here.
So today, at this time, in this place, let's start afresh. All of us. Let's begin to listen to one another again. Hear one another. See one another. Show respect to one another. Politics doesn't have to be a raging fire, destroying everything in its path. Every disagreement doesn't have to be a cause for total war. And we must reject the culture in which facts themselves are manipulated and even manufactured.
Actually, I lied. I have two more clips. Sorry about that. So yeah, he's talking about we got to reject the notion of, when facts become distorted and lies. By the way, if you look at the screen right now, this is when they caught Clinton sleeping. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the problem is,
Funny how... Oh, whoa, look who learned how to comment.
Really? No way.
Funny how he used Raging Fire.
No way.
Says Tom.
Tom, which child of yours did you get help with? All right, two more here, and then we can move on to better people.
Is it though?
Yes, it is.
I don't know.
It is.
Austin Hampton.
To all those who supported our campaign, I'm humbled by the faith you placed in us. To all those who did not support us, let me say this. Hear me out as we move forward. Take a measure of me and my heart. If you still disagree, so be it. That's democracy. That's America. The right to dissent peaceably within the guardrails of our republic is perhaps this nation's greatest strength. Yet hear me clearly. Disagreement must not lead to disunion. And I pledge this to you. I will be a president for all Americans. All Americans.
Again, though, which side is the one causing division?
That, as I'm about to say, sounds like a boatload of horse shit.
I mean, it's great that he says, I'm president for all Americans, but you hear that at every inauguration speech. So you kind of expect that, but it's not our side that's causing the strife. It's his side. All I wanted to hear is for him to say, we have to rein in our side. That's all I wanted to hear in his speech. I mean, you knew he was going to attack those on the right. That's just the way it is. All I wanted to hear him was say, and our side has just as many problems with stuff like this. You know, just something like that. That's it.
He says president for all Americans. Day one, he already screwed that up. He got rid of the Keystone Pipeline. How many jobs is that?
At least 1,000.
Huh?
At least 1,000 was the estimate.
Oh, I read about 8 or 9.
Over time, yeah.
So, what else is that going to do? Drive gas prices up. I don't think anybody likes that.
No. All right,
so,
go ahead.
President for all Americans, my ass.
Last clip.
Once have taught us a painful lesson. There is truth and there are lies. Lies told for power and for profit. And each of us has a duty and a responsibility as citizens, as Americans, and especially as leaders. Leaders who have pledged to honor our Constitution and protect our nation, to defend the truth and defeat the lies.
To defend the truth and defeat the lies. Again, a knock on the right, which which the left terms as fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news. Yes.
And fact checking.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, yeah. I mean, we still have, people in the Trump administration being, the left is calling on those people to be blacklisted, so that they can't get jobs. There's people, that run publishing companies that are canceling book deals for people who are on the right. There's people who are threatening to take away children of conservatives and put them into re-education camps. Yeah, that's not really unity.
Wait. Keep going. I'm thinking, what does this sound like? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. Yes. I have a couple more. The big word that's been around the last 2 days is deprogramming. Deprogramming. We have to deprogram Trump supporters. Deprogram.
What is? It sounds. It's something that happened in the 30s. I think it was in Europe. Oh yeah, the Third Reich.
Never heard of them. Were they a soccer team?
Maybe. Third freaking Reich.
Were they really a soccer team?
What they did. And I just explained this to you before the show. They spent 4 years trying to get hate towards one side. What did the Nazis do? Try to make you hate a specific people. Anybody that wasn't Aryan, basically.
Yes. I mean, we have, again, people are being purged off of social media. I didn't hear him saying, let's stop that. I still don't have my Twitter account back yet. I still don't have the episode from last Tuesday back yet. But you know what? You know what's still on Twitter? You want to see something that's still on Twitter? Still? That's still on Twitter.
Damn.
Yeah, that's still there. That's still there.
Where in the world was that?
This was posted today and is still there by quotes. This This is a Twitter page from an Iranian news agency. They're the mouthpiece of the government, kind of like our CNN.
Right.
If you were to translate this, it basically says, "We're coming to kill Trump. Revenge is ours for the killing of Soleimani." That tweet's still there.
Well, that's fine. It goes with their narrative.
I mean, seriously. If you want unity, it's the only way they want unity is for everybody on the right to capitulate and go to the left. Then everything will be kumbaya.
Wait, what does that sound like? It wasn't in Europe. It was in really big. I think the Bolsheviks started.
Yeah.
Was it the Bolsheviks? I think Stalin ran it too. Oh yeah, the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had something very similar to like that. They forced everybody to quotations support them.
Yes.
If not, they died.
Yes. So you had said something to me that you wanted to mention on the show tonight. And I said, I know, I saw it all over Media 2 yesterday. So I'm going to let you talk about what this is, and it's going to lead us into the next group of videos we're going to show. And I got plenty of videos here, so I'm sorry. This is video night. But there's going to be no more of Biden. Sorry, you Biden supporters. No more Biden. So,
Aunt Ross said there is one on Facebook now with her hiding Biden's head. Caption is, "Do you still think this is funny?"
yeah.
So the big news, I've seen it multiple times, that this was the best inauguration speech ever.
Best inauguration speech ever.
I wouldn't say it was bad. For what I expected, it wasn't bad. I thought it was very basic. But it was expected to say that. And then you saw, your big leftists saying, "Oh, it was great." Well, there's one specific person that I saw post this. Chris Wallace.
Who works at Fox News, by the way.
Chris Wallace.
Chris, say the word in between. Chris
fucking Wallace is a moron.
Yeah, Chris, you're a moron. I mean, let me just say for the record. I mean, yes, we are leaving the presidency of probably history will show him to be one of the best presidents for the United States of America in time. If Biden put his team in that has the same political philosophies as he does, this honestly would not be that bad of a presidency. Biden, for a Democrat, is very moderate. You guys have known, for you guys that watch this show and listen or watch what I post on Facebook, you know that I say Democrats go back 40 years, used to be liberals, today they're progressives. Very different classification of people. Liberals were always for the little guy. That Biden is probably one of the last liberals still in Washington. But he's not surrounding himself with liberals. He's surrounding himself with progressives. Kind of have a feeling he may have been told to do that. So it could have been a decent presidency. I don't think it's going to be a decent presidency now. But yes. Best inauguration speech ever. So I spent...
By far incorrect.
Yes. So I spent a couple hours last night and a couple hours before the show going over just 3 other presidents' inauguration speeches. 3. I did that for you.
Trump.
So we're going to play a couple, starting with the oldest and going to the newest. All right? So
is the oldest actually a video?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I'm thinking way back.
No, I got to show videos. I'm not going to sit here and read stuff.
Well, I'm going way back before there was video.
Yes, no, I'm doing video. So
Okay.
we're going to start with people who, a lot of people thought up until the time this was the greatest president ever. Him and Biden do have something similar to each other. They are the first and second presidents ever to be Catholic. So that should tell you who I'm going to play videos by now. If you don't know, you're about to.
And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
So, I'm sorry, Chris Wallace. There is not one part of Biden's speech that's better than any part of Kennedy's speech. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out of the way. Now, Kennedy says one word in there that should have gotten your attention. That you would never hear somebody with a D after their name utter in any speech right now. Did you happen to catch the word? It was towards the beginning of the speech. Of that part of the speech. He said the word God.
That did catch my eye, but not the word I was thinking of. But yes, at the hand of God.
As I have told you before, non-genetically proven son, and I probably have said this on the show, if Kennedy were president today, Kennedy would be a Republican. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind.
Not a man, not a woman.
So, let's continue with this same part of the speech.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
There was another word in there that you would never hear a Democrat say anymore. Did you happen to catch that word, non-genetically proven son? This time it was at the end.
I have to turn my volume down when you come back because I'm like 15 seconds behind.
The last word that he said was liberty, defending liberty. A Democrat talking about defending liberty. Again, wouldn't have that now.
The Constitution doesn't apply to them, apparently.
Definitely would not have Democrats saying that word now. Wouldn't say God. Wouldn't say liberty. The good old days. I'd have liked to have been alive when Kennedy was president. Just to see what it was, Or like if Kennedy was alive today and president, just to see what it would be like. All right, next clip from him. It's a rather short clip here.
All our neighbors know that we shall join with them to oppose aggression or subversion anywhere in the Americas. And let every other power know that this hemisphere intends to remain the master of its own house.
Again, something else you would never hear. We will remain masters of our own house. America first. Wonder who said that 4 years ago. Again, telling you, Kennedy would be a Republican today. Yeah, so far I've played you guys 3 clips. Didn't hear anything in Biden's speech that was better than any of those clips. That's for sure.
I heard the same word in Biden's speech, just put in different ways, basically.
Yep, but Chris Wallace says, best speech ever.
Of course.
Do we have any comments?
Nothing new.
All right. All right, last clip. This one is a little over a minute. And you've heard these words before, I promise you. Unless if you've been living under a rock since the day you were born, you've heard some of the words in this part of the speech.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I don't really know what else to say.
Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
I mean, again, talking about defending freedom. How, in his own mind, nobody from his generation would trade places with anybody else in any other generation. Pride in being an American. You don't hear that on the left today. Do you? I mean, am I mistaken? I mean, as far as I know, they're not talking about how great America is. They want to destroy America. Last I checked, America.
America.
America. I mean, what do you guys think? Any comments? Anybody? Bueller? 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 All right. So let's move on to the next president. We got a few clips from this person. You should be able to figure out who it is and know it's not Jimmy Carter.
Is it Woodrow Wilson?
No, it came after Kennedy. I said Kennedy was the oldest one.
I know. But I know how you love Woodrow Wilson.
You and I, as individuals, can, by borrowing, live beyond our means, but for only a limited period of time. Why then should we think that collectively, as a nation, we're not bound by that same limitation? We must act today in order to preserve tomorrow. And let there be no misunderstanding. We're going to begin to act, beginning today.
Now, for those of you that don't remember or weren't alive, this country was basically on its last legs when Reagan took over. You know, inflation was through the roof. You know, remember gas lines. Pride in America was at the lowest it's probably ever was. Definitely the opposite of when Kennedy gave his speech. You know, we were, you know, not too far out of Vietnam. You know, a lot of people said we lost that conflict. First one we may have ever lost. So, yeah, we weren't doing very well as a country back then. And so Reagan's speech was kind of about, you know, lifting us out of the depths that we were in.
The economic ills we suffer have come upon us over several decades. They will not go away in days, weeks, or months, but they will go away. They will go away because we, as Americans, have the capacity now, as we've had in the past, to do whatever needs to be done to preserve this last and greatest bastion of freedom. In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Now, you know, you're never going to hear, granted, Reagan was a Republican, you're never going to hear a Democrat saying that. That, you know, government isn't the solution, government is the problem.
Well, I've seen that all over Facebook now.
It's true. Government is the problem.
From time to time, we've been tempted to believe that society has become too complex to be managed by self-rule, that government by an elite group is superior to government for, by, and of the people. Well, if no one among us is capable of governing himself, then who among us has the capacity to govern someone else?
Exactly. The government can't even control themselves. What gives them the right to try to control us?
And it's for, by, and of the people.
You know, I think somebody else a little later on might be the next person we play videos from. Yes, Obama.
That's right.
Had basically the same message in his speech. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. Next clip.
So as we begin, let us take inventory. We are a nation that has a government, not the other way around. And this makes us special among the nations of the earth. Our government has no power except that granted it by the people. It is time to check and reverse the growth of government, which shows signs of having grown beyond the consent of the governed. It is my intention to curb the size and influence of the federal establishment and to demand recognition of the distinction between the powers granted to the federal government and those reserved to the states or to the people.
Limiting the role of the federal government.
I like when he said the government has no power except when given it by the people.
That's right, because it's true. Geez, I wonder where we might hear that again.
Not from Biden.
Wonder who else might have said something similar in his speech. Obama, yeah.
I was going to say Bush.
Oh. Both of them were globalists, especially Daddy Bush. That's for sure. Do we have any other comments yet on the message board? Why? Because I can't see it right now. All right.
No, just a couple of like agreed or hearts or something.
Next one.
Now, I have used the words they and their in speaking of these heroes. I could say you and your, because I'm addressing the heroes of whom I speak. You, the citizens of this blessed land. Your dreams, your hopes, your goals are going to be the dreams, the hopes, and the goals of this administration, so help me God.
Now I know we're going to hear that again. I know we're going to hear that again in the next speech that we're going to listen to.
You, the people, are the hero of our land.
Yeah. We're definitely...
I would love to hear that come out of Kamala Harris's mouth.
She's got
oh, wait.
She's got to take something else out of her mouth first. Whoops. Shh, I didn't say that. That'll get edited out. Just kidding. Kidding.
Give you the slap on the wrist.
Kidding. And I'm talking about the food that she's eating right now. I'm sure she's eating Hamburger Helper right now. It's good food.
Yeah.
Good food. Good food.
I'm sure Hamburger Helper.
2 more to go.
It is time to reawaken this industrial giant, to get government back within its means, and to lighten our punitive tax burden. And these will be our first priorities, and on these principles there will be no compromise.
Time to awaken the industrial giant. I wonder who said something like that in their speech.
William McKinley.
I'm telling you, whoever wrote his speech, the next person we're going to play, definitely watch this speech a few times.
You think?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right. So one more comment here. All right, one more. Okay.
Marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, My Pledge, he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. The crisis we're facing today does not require of us the kind of sacrifice that Martin Treptow and so many thousands of others were called upon to make. It does require, however, our best effort and our willingness to believe in ourselves and to believe in our capacity to perform great deeds, to believe that together, with God's help, we can and will resolve the problems which now confront us. And after all, why shouldn't we believe that? We are Americans. God bless you and thank you.
That was a great way to end the speech. Why shouldn't we expect it? We are Americans. You would never hear that crap coming out of the left today. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever. All right. Let's get to Obama because, you know, he's next.
That's right.
He's next.
Greatest American president ever.
You don't believe me that he's next? You don't believe me? Now do you believe me? Huh? Believe me now? Told you he's next. Ah, just kidding.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
Transferring power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to you, the people, right where it belongs, by the way. Kind of sounded like what somebody said 36 years prior, doesn't it?
Pretty close.
Kind of.
Do we still happen to know who Trump's favorite president is?
Yeah, wasn't it Andrew Jackson? He had his portrait up in the Oval Office.
Well, you like him.
Haven't seen Andrew Jackson much in the White House these last few years.
And anywhere else.
Haven't seen his portrait there, that's for sure. All right.
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumphs have not been your triumphs. And while they celebrated in our nation's capital, there was little to celebrate for struggling families all across our land. That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you.
You know, I could just imagine everybody else who's sitting there behind him in government. I could only imagine what was going through their minds at that moment in the speech.
That is probably one of my favorite parts.
Yes.
How they reaped the rewards of government for too long, and the people have borne the cost, and it's going to change right here and right now.
Yes. I could guarantee you, if there wasn't thoughts of this guy's got to be a one-term president before he said those lines, the thought and everybody else behind him in that stage was there after he said those lines. Because right there, he told you, I'm exposing these idiots behind me. They're done. I'm giving the power back to you where it belongs. Kind of like somebody else said 36 years prior.
And how the people wrote 200 plus years ago.
Yeah.
240 years ago.
Yep.
It belongs to everyone gathered here today and everyone watching all across America. This is your day. This is your celebration. And this, the United States of America, is your country.
United States of America is ours. Not the idiots behind me. It's for the great people in front of me. The idiots behind him wonder why the people in front of him loved him so much. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Everyone is listening to you now. You came by the tens of millions to become part of a historic movement, the likes of which the world has never seen before. At the center of this movement is a crucial conviction that a nation exists to serve its citizens. Americans want great schools for their children, safe neighborhoods for their families, and good jobs for themselves. These are just and reasonable demands of righteous people and a righteous public. But for too many of our citizens, a different reality exists. Mothers and children trapped in poverty in our inner cities, rusted out factories scattered like tombstones across the landscape of our nation, an education system flush with cash, but which leaves our young and beautiful students deprived of all knowledge. And the crime, and the gangs, and the drugs that have stolen too many lives and robbed our country of so much unrealized potential. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
Again, all the bad things that are happening in this country because of the idiots behind him, he's saying is stopping right now. I'm going to expose them all. Expose every single one of them. And they did all that they could to bury this guy. Make him public enemy number one. Not just to get rid of him. To send the message to anybody else that's a populist. Don't even think about running, because we're going to do the same to you. Well, guess what? I got a message to the elites. Go fuck yourself. That's my message. Oh, look, it's Obama again.
Greatest president ever.
We assembled here today are issuing a new decree to be heard in every city, in every foreign capital, and in every hall of power. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
America first. You know, it's interesting. I found a video last night that somebody posted comparing Biden's speech to Trump's speech. And how unifying Biden's speech was and how divisive Trump's speech was. Well, he has a point. It was divisive. He was pitting us against the elites. Because the elites have stolen this country from us, and it's about time we figure that out. That's why I love this speech so much. He finally told the truth. That Reagan told, that Andrew Jackson told, that Thomas Jefferson told. We don't have enough of that going on in Congress, in government, in the presidency, in the courts, in state government. A couple more clips.
Every decision on trade, on taxes, on immigration, on foreign affairs will be made to benefit American workers and American families. We must protect our borders from the ravages of other countries, making our products, stealing our companies, and destroying our jobs.
Again, America first. Now, I don't know if I capture the part where he basically says, you know, it's common sense that every country should put themselves first. Should put the people of their country first. Should put the interests of their people first. That makes sense. Because we're not, I'm sorry to say, all one in most things. Yes, world peace would be awesome. That's where we should be all one. Stamping out poverty, yes, that's where we should be all one. But when our people suffer, whether it's a vet or a homeless person on the streets, and our money is going to people in Somalia, sorry. Our vets should come first. Our homeless should come first. It's our tax dollars. Ours. That's what he's trying to say, and he's absolutely right. Abso-fucking-lutely right. But now we got another globalist in there. A full globalist government. That sucks.
Hey, climate change, the unproven science of the world.
Yes. Couple more clips, then we're done.
We will build new roads and highways and bridges and airports and tunnels and railways all across our wonderful nation. We will get our people off of welfare and back to work, rebuilding our country with American hands and American labor. We will follow two simple rules: buy American and hire American.
And in that part of the speech right there, the Republican Party became the working class party.
We're going to use American labor. And again, I don't know what part of that isn't a good thing to everybody. That should be a bipartisan, yes, let's create everything we can for us and import less.
The first part of what he said, you know, building roads and building bridges, that used to be what Democrats would say all the time. We got to fix our infrastructure. Fix our infrastructure. We should have full work conditions. We should have no unemployment. I mean, other than take the pandemic out. Because our infrastructure needs rebuilding. There's too many factories that are dormant because we've shipped jobs overseas.
Mexico.
And he wanted to bring them back. Why do you think, for the first time in God knows how long, the unions loved a Republican president? Because he was bringing back jobs. Putting America first. In 4 years, he has made the Democratic Party become the party of the elites, the globalists, and the illegal immigration. While the Republican Party is now the working class party, the party of basically stronger and stronger minorities each and every election, as they wake up and see that Democrats have done nothing for them over the past 60 years. Plus, everybody that was a conservative now. Now, if Republicans don't pick up the mantle and start acting like Trump did, their party's over. It's done. Forget it.
Well, we've already said that
yes.
The Republican Party
yes,
is over.
the Patriot Party will rise. Like yes, it was cool. Liz Cheney already has a primary challenger. Number 3 person in the House who voted for impeachment. She now has a primary challenger as of yesterday. Awesome. Good.
We already know it's going to be the Patriot Party.
Well,
that's what's coming out of this.
All right. Couple more.
Finally, we must think big and dream even bigger. In America, we understand that a nation is only living as long as it is striving. We will no longer accept politicians who are all talk and no action, constantly complaining, but never doing anything about it.
Now, I wanted to include that clip in there because, again, I wonder what the people who are behind him are thinking right now. Because it's right. They do nothing. They do nothing. Joe Biden's been in the Senate for how long?
47 years.
Then he became vice president. Dianne Feinstein's been in the Senate and the House for like 60 years. They've never had a real job. Seriously, they never had a real job. They don't know what it's like to be a normal, everyday American. Bunch of useless idiots. All right, last one.
So to all Americans, in every city, near and far, small and large, from mountain to mountain, from ocean to ocean, hear these words. You will never be ignored again. Your voice, your hopes, and your dreams will define our American destiny. And your courage and goodness and love will forever guide us along the way. Together, we will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you. God bless America.
God bless America. He only missed saying one word 3 times.
Winning, winning, winning.
I'm going to miss that guy, I can tell you.
2024.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Or at least by then, hopefully, he started a whole new, basically, regime kind of
Yes.
movement. Or whatever is going to happen in the next 4 years.
So, I want to mention one thing before we get to football. I made a post yesterday on my personal Facebook page. And it caused a lot of controversy. And it wasn't meant to cause controversy.
I will tell you my opinion once you read it.
This was not meant to cause controversy at all. But it created a lot of controversy, let me tell you. I wrote, on a serious note for a second, we could debate all we want about who actually won the election, but one thing I hope we can all agree on is it took way too long for a woman to be elected to one of the top 2 positions in government. Today is a great day for women all throughout our country. Now,
Do you want my opinion first or not?
go ahead.
I agree that it took too long. But not her. Because all this tells me, because a lot of people go, it's a good day for women, sure. But people say she's a role model. What does this tell girls that that want to be political, that are 16, 17, even up to like their 20s? What does this say? How do you get to power? Get on your knees? Like, that's all this is telling me. That she got to power by getting on her knees. That's literally what she did.
Well, the problem is that's the story we've been told.
By everybody.
Everybody on the right.
I think it's true that, yes, we should have had a female in the top 2 positions at some point prior.
Yes. Yes.
But I do not think she should have been the one to break that barrier.
The first 8 comments that I got were all from women trashing the post. Okay. I know we don't like her. I don't like her because of her politics.
That too.
Because of what she represents. But still, ladies, Be proud that a woman got to that point. You know, it wasn't all that long ago. You didn't have the right to vote. Be proud that a woman got there now. Yes, it's not the woman we on the right would like to be there. Nikki Haley, the governor of South Dakota. You know, I could think of 100 better choices. I can think of 1,000 better choices. My ex-wife would be a better choice.
Well, at least she's Republican. At least my mother is very heavy Republican.
But be proud that a woman has made it. That was the point of the post. But I love the fact that
I agree with it, but I don't at the same time.
I love the fact that it got a lot of feedback. That's what I love. That's exactly what I want for my post. I want feedback, especially if you disagree with me. And they were all done in a adult appropriate manner. You know, I wasn't called names or anything like that. I wasn't called, what the fuck, you stupid piece of moron, you? You know, none of that was said. None of that was said. It was just, I disagree. She does nothing for me. Okay? She doesn't do anything for me either. She doesn't get blood flowing to a certain part of my body.
Listen, maybe she can give you some pointers or two.
Your studio audience didn't laugh at that comment.
Yes, she did. She's dying.
Just be proud that it was a woman. A woman has made it. That's all that I meant by that. All right. So this has been a long show, and we still got football to do.
Yep. Changing gears. Woo!
Changing gears to football.
Can we quick go say one thing about real football?
Yes, go ahead.
So
that's FUTBOL.
Liverpool had a 68-game home unbeaten streak. I think they won about 50 of those. And it just got ended today by Burnley.
Okay, then.
Liverpool sucks. It also kind of helps that they don't have any center backs. They're all injured. Liverpool sucks.
We got to get your high school soccer coach watching this show.
Who's in first? Well, it's not City, but
it's.
Well, where's Liverpool? Oh wait, yeah, fifth.
It's not the Wolves either. Oh, I know who's in first. Leeds.
No, they're in 13th. Where are you going?
If it was for scoring goals, Leeds would be in first. All right.
I don't think that's true either, but...
All right. So let's go over our picks from last week. Since for once I did halfway decent.
I went 500, I believe.
Yes, you did. So the first game last week, Green Bay and the Rams. The line was 6.5, 43.5, if I remember correctly. You took the Rams and the under. I took Green Bay and the under. Green Bay and the over cashed. So I went 1-1. You went 0-2. The next game we were completely the opposite on. Buffalo was like a 2.5 point favorite with an over under of 51, I believe. You took Buffalo and the over, and for some reason I took Baltimore. I took the under.
You loved Baltimore to win that game.
Yes,
you loved them to win that game.
Yeah, that was just... Well, you know what? They had a chance to take the lead in that game, and then there was an interception and a 101-yard return.
How many points did they score?
1. I don't know. 3?
It's close. It's close.
3?
3.
3? 3? Well, that certainly kept the game under.
Oh, yeah, Lamar Jackson's overrated. Got it.
So, I went 1-1 in that game, and you went 1-1 in that game. So, on Saturday, I went 2-2, and you went 1-3.
That's okay.
Now, on Sunday... Kansas City was a 10-point favorite or 9.5 with an over-under of 56, I believe it was. We both agreed on Cleveland and the under. You had said Cleveland was going to be in this game with a chance to win into the fourth quarter. You were absolutely right. Now,
I think I got lucky because Mahomes did leave the game.
yes.
Somewhere, I believe, in the third quarter.
Yes. But as a gambler, it's better to be lucky than to be good sometimes.
But I thought Cleveland, they did have a chance to win that game. And I was pulling for them quite hard. A, because I have it in our gentleman's bet.
Yes.
And B, Kansas City kind of reminds me of the Patriots. Nobody really wants to watch them, to be honest.
Yes.
They've been good now for a few years, and nobody really wants to watch them.
Yes. This is the third straight year they've been hosting the AFC Championship game. It only happened one other time when the Eagles hosted the NFC Championship game 3 times. Who was the Eagles coach back then?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Pretty interesting.
Andy Reid is a really, really good coach.
So we both went 2-0 on that game. Then the last game, New Orleans was, I believe, a 3-point favorite with an over-under of 51 or 51.5, something like that. You said Tampa Bay was going to win the game outright. And the game was going to go over. I played up the point. I kept everybody thinking that I was going to take New Orleans. And then I said Tampa Bay was going to win outright.
They made New Orleans look
And I took the over. Tampa Bay and just barely the under cashed.
I had the under, right?
No, you had the over.
Oh.
So you went 4-4, I went 5-3, which is probably my first winning week since, I don't know, 1991. It seems. So for our gentleman's bet, you had Buffalo, I had Indy. Buffalo won, so you still have a team there. I had Kansas City, you have Cleveland, Kansas City. I had Green Bay, you had the Rams, Green Bay. I had Tampa, you had New Orleans, so Tampa. So I still got 3 teams in there, you got 1 team in the gentleman's bet. Are you regretting yet not picking first?
No.
Okay.
Because I still think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. All right.
I do wish I took Kansas City instead of the Saints, but I also didn't have the Saints playing the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Saints playing Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was that way, I think the Saints could have possibly beat Green Bay. It would have been hard to, with you taking Green Bay. So I tried to pick what I thought was going to be the NFC title game.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
But then it kind of got screwed when the Seahawks looked like poo.
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 Poo, he says.
Poo.
Poo. All right. So, on to the games this week. Only 2, obviously.
Really?
The early game is Green Bay and Tampa at Green Bay. Weather is supposed to be 28 degrees with a chance of some light snow. Green Bay is at noon today. Green Bay is a 3.5-point favorite with an over/under of 51. All of our odds courtesy of Barstool Sports, where we could be rich if we kept the stock. No need to bring that up though. All right. I do not know the non-genetically proven son's picks this week. He does not know mine. Go ahead and tell me who you like. We have to pick both the team and the sides. So, go ahead.
Well, as you just mentioned, and I did look it up this time, cold. Not as cold as I would like it to be.
Oh,
I'd like
wait.
it to probably be about 10 degrees colder.
One last thing. When we're done picking the 2 games, you have to say of the 4 picks, which one, if you could only bet one, this is the one you would play. And I'll do the same. Okay.
So, cold. Like I said, I'd like it to be a little colder, but I don't think that matters too much as Tampa is in, central Florida, and it's 70 there. So I think that'll definitely play into – it can even play into Brady. He's old, getting up there. I think his old brittle bones could ache a little bit in this game.
Yeah.
That was really my big thing I was actually going off of.
Okay.
Both offenses are very similar, yardage-wise. Tampa obviously passes the ball a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But Green Bay has a decent rushing game.
Mm-hmm.
Both defenses are solid rush defenses, but Tampa's pass defense is average.
Mm-hmm.
Probably average. So I like Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay, given the 3.5. If it was played in a dome or somewhere a little bit warmer, it would have been tough to play against Brady.
Mm-hmm.
But with it being cold and
Take 2.
Tampa's pass defense is average at best.
Mm-hmm.
And the Packers are just playing too good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Rams last week, they put up, 32 against the Rams?
Yep.
That's
almost 500 yards or something like that.
That's pretty damn good against the league's best defense.
One of the best defenses, yes.
So I like the over in this game.
Okay.
My final score, 38 Packers to 28. I still think Brady will be able to score some points. I can't see why he wouldn't. I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up with A-Rod in that offense.
Okay. So you like Green Bay in the over?
Yes.
All right. These two teams played each other earlier in the year. Tampa Bay kicked the ever-living hell out of Green Bay. But the weather that night was 80, 85 degrees and humid. Advantage Tampa Bay. Now we're going up to 28 degrees, possible snow. Advantage Green Bay. Let's face it. I, in my head, see how I think this game is going to play out, and that's going to determine how I'm betting this game. New Orleans lost to Tampa last week because of turnovers. 4 of them, to be exact. All of Tampa's scoring drives were, I believe, less than 50 yards, I think. I'd have to go back and check that out. But they had some short fields to work with and scored points because of it. I'm not a fan of the line in this game. If it was 2.5, I'd be a fan of the line in this game. But 3.5, the way I think the game is going to be played leans me to take Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to get out to an early lead. Let's face it, they are a really good first quarter team. Go look at their stats. On average, at halftime, they're winning by like 9 points a game at half. Tampa, like most of Tom Brady's tenure when he was in New England, now he's in Tampa, they don't really start out getting out of the blocks that quickly in most games, especially in big games. Now, we'll see if that's a Tom Brady thing or if that's a Bill Belichick thing in his days with New England. So, Green Bay, to me, is going to get the lead in this game, which means Tom Brady is going to be passing more in this game. If that happens, as long as Green Bay doesn't get out to like a 24-point lead, I think all of those scenarios lean to the over in this game. So you and I agree, Green Bay and the over. Now,
there was a comment. I didn't get to read it.
Yes, Josh says, Tom's used to the cold, New England, so I think Green Bay will win, but that half a point will hurt, 27-24, so Bucks with the spread and the under. Well, actually, 27-24 on our line would be a push with the over-under. I know you have a Carbondale area education, 27 and 24 is 51. Sorry, nephew. Now, because of the way I think the game is going to go, I think there's much better bets out there. And I've played some of them. And I'm going to tell you what I played. All right. So this bet kind of doesn't go with anything that I just said, but I just think the number is too low. I have where is it here? Tampa Bay's running back. What the hell is his name? I have him getting more than 42.5 yards. It's weird. They don't have his name in there. But you guys know who it is. I have the Green Bay Packers being ahead at the end of the first quarter. And that bet ties lose. So Green Bay has to be winning at the end of the first quarter. Again, they get out quick where Tom Brady's teams usually don't. I have Green Bay minus 1.5 in the first quarter as well. I have total interceptions in the game by Aaron Rodgers at more than a half. So he's got to throw 1 interception, and I only took that because you're getting plus 175. So you're getting juicy odds to take that. So to me, it was worth a small play just because of those odds. I took Green Bay as the first team to score in the game. I took Green Bay, first team to score and win the game at plus 155. And last but not least, I took Green Bay in the first half minus 2.5. So the way I see this game being played is Green Bay getting out early and having the lead at half. So I have the potential to win a decent amount of money by the half of this game. And then we'll see what I play for the second half in live bets. So I could win a lot, or if Tom Brady comes out, puts up 24 in the first half, Aaron Rodgers puts up 3, I'm going to lose a lot. Hopefully, if he puts up 3, though, he's thrown an interception. Hopefully.
Those are probably pretty juicy. He's only thrown like 2 or 3 this whole year.
Yes, he has. But I figured at plus 175, I'm going to take that he throws one. Tampa intercepted Drew Brees 4 times last week.
I think that was just more Drew Brees. I don't know if that was their defense.
A lot of them were like deflected and stuff. Now, Tom Brady could have been intercepted 3 times himself last week. Twice he was that, and they were overruled in instant replay. VAR.
Yeah, VAR.
All right, on to the second game. Kansas City is a 3-point favorite with an over-under of 54.
What they are.
Go ahead.
So, we could look back. Now we're going back to October. The Chiefs beat the Bills 26-17. Whatever that means to you, whatever that means to you. To be honest, that's a little early in the season for me to really care about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is Mahomes playing? Do we know yet?
Don't know yet.
So that's my big question. Is Mahomes playing? No. It's an easy answer, to be honest. If yes, then I think it makes this game very, very interesting.
You mean you don't like Wilson product Chad Henne to carry Kansas City onto the Super Bowl?
Is that where Chad Henne is now?
Chad Henne is the backup quarterback for Kansas City, and he graduated high school from Wilson.
I know who Chad Henne is. He's not that good of a quarterback. No offense, Chad Henne. But you played in Jacksonville?
He was for a while, yeah.
And did a whole lot of nothing. He reminded me of Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
Well, at least he's still playing.
Okay.
But, so I can give you 2 scenarios. The first one, let's just say Mahomes is not playing, and Chad Henne is the starting quarterback for Kansas City. I would take Buffalo in a heartbeat.
Now, of course,
Buffalo,
locking in the line at 3. If he gets announced, all of a sudden that line's going to flip very quickly.
Yeah. At +3, I would take Buffalo in a heartbeat. And I take the under. I would struggle to see Kansas City score more than 13, 17 points.
Okay.
That might even be a little high. Now, let's just assume Mahomes is going to play. I'm going to play it as if he is going to play. So
I think it's a pretty safe bet that he's going to at least try to play the game. And he's probably going to play the game.
You think if he wasn't, you think we would have heard something by now?
No, you wouldn't. Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm still going to take Buffalo.
Okay.
Because last week against the Browns, 22 points. That's not very impressive. Not against the Browns defense. They're all right. They're pretty good. But you're going to need more than that, I think, to beat Buffalo. And I would definitely say Buffalo's defense is probably better than the Browns, sort of.
Okay.
If I believe Buffalo's pass defense is average, but the run defense kind of was below average in my personal opinion.
Okay.
They give up nearly 160 yards a game.
Uh-huh.
That's a decent amount.
Yep.
They give up about 265 yards of passing, about 422 yards a game. So that's... But their offense is just on par as well.
Okay.
I think as long as Allen can throw the ball without being pressured all the time.
You're really stretching this out.
I know. Buffalo will win this game.
Okay.
Outright.
Okay.
If they could guard Allen. If they cannot, then Kansas City will win the game.
Okay.
But it's going to be close either way. Because as we know, Kansas City they can't kill anybody.
Yes.
It's going to be real close. I'm under the 54. I just couldn't find a way to put that over. And I like Buffalo 24-21.
Okay.
I think they'll either stop Kansas City late or they'll have a late field goal. Whoever has the ball last, basically.
Okay. Weather-wise, they're saying there's a chance it could be really windy there. Decent temperatures in the 40s, but potentially windy. We all saw what happened last week in surprise windstorm up in Buffalo with field goals. I believe both kickers missed 2. You know, Justin Tucker never misses. And...
I'm about to say Tucker doesn't miss.
Yeah. By the way, of all 4 of those plays, which is your best?
I would probably take Green Bay the over in the Green Bay game.
The over in the Green Bay game. Okay. Again, what is going to happen with Mahomes? I think he plays. I don't think his concussion is the problem. I think his toe injury is the bigger problem. And how is that going to limit his mobility? Who knows? Who knows? I do not like the line in this game whatsoever. I will take Buffalo only because I want one of his teams in the gentleman's bet to make it. So we at least have something to go for the Super Bowl. So I could see Kansas City winning this game. I could see Buffalo winning this game. I could see either happening. But the one thing I see happening, without a doubt, I missed, is this game is going way under the total. So we agree on this game too. The under in this game is by far my best bet of the weekend, of the 4 that we have to pick. Again, it has a chance to be really windy in this game. That could play havoc with kicking, could play havoc with passing.
56-49 Buffalo.
I just do not see... I mean, let's face it. How many points is... I mean, Buffalo hasn't been putting up a lot of points. The playoff games. They haven't.
No, but they're not giving up many of them.
No, true. Kansas City didn't put up a lot of points last week. Now, they had the potential to if Mahomes doesn't get hurt, but who knows? If he stays in, maybe they don't put up any more points either. Who knows? This game is so hard for me to predict the line. The under is the easy bet for me. And I've already placed that bet. If you like Buffalo, and you're going to bet the game, I would bet it now. You're not going to get 3.5 at any point. I don't think. And if by chance Mahomes is ruled out, this line is going to flip to Buffalo -3 very quickly. So if you could lock in at Buffalo +3, do it. I don't know. I've been going back and forth all week on the side of this game. And when you don't know what to play, the rule of thumb is to take the points because you get more points. I mean, so now Kansas City could win the game by 1 or 2, and I still win. So it's no fun that we have the same picks for both games.
Yeah, we seem to do that more often than not.
So that's when we usually lose.
Well, as long as Green Bay wins the game, I'm fine with that. As a quasi fan, I guess.
Yes. All right. So that is our show for tonight. It's been an awfully long show. I've kept you guys here for an hour and a half. Very long for us. I want to leave you guys with one thought. And it is back to politics for a minute. There's a lot of talk out there about how the Bidens made all their money.
Oh, boy.
A lot of talk about how the Bidens made all their money. Well, I'm going to tell you how they made all their money. I found it digging around the internet. It wasn't because Joe Biden made all of those speeches. It wasn't because of his shady dealings. No. Nope. Joe Biden has an OnlyFans account.
All right, then.
And remember, where we go on,
we go on.
I'm going to check out Joe Biden's OnlyFans account. See you Tuesday.